everyone, and welcome to today's Drama Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. E-Cat already here and already being hi E. Oh, hello the E. Okay. Oh, really quick announcement. Look, we got a new human hairbrush. I did. So now I don't have to use a cat hairbrush anymore. Alright, let's get right to it. So, due to a DVR malfunction and the Olympics, which started apparently before the opening ceremony, I lost the intro segment. I know, for a soccer game. But I got it like at 7 minutes in, so I don't think we'll be missing anything pertinent. And let's get right to it. At the PCPD, Scott brought Franco breakfast. E-Cat Arena, you're being E-Cat bad. And he's his attorney, obviously. And Franco's not happy that they found the sketches. He doesn't think they should have been allowed in there, but since it's the hospital and not his personal place, they could search without a warrant, couldn't they, E-Cat? And Scott tells Franco that he could be facing the death penalty, and Franco's like, but I'm innocent, and they can't kill innocent people. So Franco says that, yes, there is weird things in his studio, but it's because he's been inspired by, like, Urban Decay, I think he said, but it's important to him that Scott believes him, and he asks if he can call Elizabeth. At the hospital, Nathan tells real Maxie! Maxie's back! Kirsten Storms is back! And, tells her about the Claudette incident, what happened last night, and he feels that he was being unfair accusing Claudette. Aww. And joggers came by in the morning and helped them, but they spent all night in that car. Yeah, I'm addicted to pirouettes. What? Yeah, Maxie's just about as happy as you think she is. So, amazingly, Claudette isn't on a flight home. Imagine that. And Maxie isn't happy, and neither am I, and I need to get my bangs cut because they are way too long. They are in my eyes. And so she sees right through Claudette and her fall. Yeah, exactly. And Nathan's like, oh, it aggravated an old injury. And I was like, you know what, as someone who has an injury that is easily aggravated, I'm offended for someone to be exploiting that, because I don't believe anything about aggravating old injuries. She looked perfectly fine. So he says Claudette is here at the hospital to have her knee checked. And I was like, as someone who, yes, has an aggravated knee, you don't need to always go to the hospital. You can just take care of it. Nothing the hospital can do that you can't do yourself. I'm very personally, I feel personally attacked by this Claudette knee storyline, if you can't tell. So Maxie wants details on everything that happened. And everything he said doesn't come out right. And, like, we barely touched. Why you touching at all? Pretty much is what Maxie said. So Claudette's phone seems to be working just fine when she's in the exam room by herself and looking at pictures of Griffin on her phone. Girl, how many pictures of past lovers do you have? So Nathan gets pulled away by Valerie to do his job. I know, right? And Claudette comes from around the corner and tells Maxie that they both slept in the front seat leaning against each other, which is basically marriage in some countries. So Maxie confronts Claudette and she's like, I see you, lady. And Nathan sends Valerie off duty. She's been at work too long. That I agree with. Give the girl a break. So Griffin and Liz are put in a room while they wait to be questioned, and Griffin asks her about her date with Franco, and Elizabeth's like, well, I was having a good time until, you know, the police came in and took him in because he's a person of interest for murder. It happens. Dates aren't always great. So Griffin asks Liz if she thinks Franco's responsible for the murders, and she doesn't know what to think. Like, a part of her, yeah, is suspicious based on his past, but, like, there's enough doubt in her mind that, like, she's honestly confused, and she thought there might have been something between them before the police came in. So Nathan comes in. Oh, wait. So Elizabeth gets a call. It's Scott. Franco asks if she believes in him, and she honestly doesn't have time to answer because Nathan comes in. So Liz is like, I can't talk right now, bye. But it was sincere. She literally can't talk right then. So Nathan comes in, and Elizabeth can't say what Franco wants her to, which is reassuring him. So Elizabeth and Griffin give Nathan the rundown of the night, and Elizabeth realizes that Amy said the monitors were off, which is why nobody caught that Miss Prescott was dying. But when Amy checked after Franco left the room, she said the monitors were on and fine, and Franco couldn't have come back to turn them off because he was with her. So Nathan, and she's like, and there should be footage to corroborate that. So Nathan goes to check, and Griffin's like, if it's true, like, you just totally exonerated Franco. And it's official, the footage does clear him. Yay! So he's going to be free to go, and she seems really happy, like genuinely happy. So Claudette tells Maxie that all they did was talk, you know, about their marriage and their past and even the present, and you know how Nathan has their wedding song on his playlist, and she really rubs it into Maxie that, you know, they have their own stories and inside jokes and this and that, and I'm like, girl, like, you're evil. I mean, she's like Lisa Niles to the max. Anyway, so Maxie brings up her sister, and her sister played tennis and always had this strategy of letting the opponent play their game. But now it's her turn, and Maxie tries to like push Claudette in a wheelchair, like physically get her in the wheelchair, not like woo down the hallway. And of course Nathan comes over to see this struggle. So Nathan says Claudette should be back in the exam room, and he takes her in the wheelchair, which she gets in so willingly. And Maxie does not like what she sees, and neither do I, to be quite honest with you. We've come through so many obstacles for this to happen right now, right, Misha? Misha says right. So, oh my goodness, I had the worst dream last night. I'll tell you guys later. So Nathan's gonna go get Claudette's doctor. And Maxie tells Nathan that she was set up by Claudette, and Claudette wants them to turn on each other, and she's done playing her game. And he's like, good, well, our move is next, and he uses our, so like that's reassuring to Maxie. And he wants to get married today. And I'm like, oh my goodness, literally everything about Nathan and Maxie takes really, really, really slow until it's like marriage. It's like boom, proposal, boom, marriage. Like, oh my goodness. Griffin is Claudette's doctor, and I knew that was gonna happen. It was all set up so it was gonna happen, but I'm still honestly a little surprised, not gonna lie. It had an effect on me. Back at the PCPD, Scott tells Franco to steer clear of Elizabeth because of, you know, the Jason connection, and how Jason literally wants him dead, you know. And Franco knows what Nina told the commissioner about him not having a, like, control of a part of himself, but she wasn't really saying that to the commissioner. She was saying it to Curtis, and the commissioner overheard. So I don't know if that's necessarily fair. And Scott has no news that he's free to go, and he says he's glad he's not the murderer. That's reassuring. Back at the hospital, Liz tells Franco that she's really glad he's been released, and Franco says, you know, I know you want nothing to do with me. There's a lot in our way, and I'm going to leave you alone. And he tells her to tell Jake that he's sorry and he'll miss him. And I was like, this is why you should let Elizabeth talk first, because then you wouldn't have said that. At Perks, Morgan, Kiki, and Lucy are talking. Interesting. So Lucy has now taken up real estate, and she's a real estate agent. She took her exam, she passed, she's like really good, all that. So she wants to discuss the place that Morgan has chosen for them. He wants to move in together, and she pretty much had all of our reactions. Like, what? My bangs right now look like the bangs my donkey has. I just want to make you all aware of that. So anyway, Lucy is showing Kiki pictures of the house, and it's so perfect, and she has the lease, and all you have to do is co-sign, and Kiki's like, hey, Morgan, can we have a second? So Kiki, she's mad at Morgan. And, you know, how could he do all these things without her? And I was like, this line has to get drawn somewhere. And I feel like this is it, because she's let Morgan get away with a lot of stuff in the name of helping his recovery, which this whole relationship, this part of it, has always, like, screamed a little problematic to me, because it feels a little too, it's not totally, you know what I mean? It's like there's a, you know? So he can't just get away with things like this just because he's struggling with his bipolar disorder. And Lucy's like, hey, my next client's here, so you guys take the time you need. And her next client is Dylan. Why wouldn't it be? So Dylan asks if they're moving in together, and Morgan's like, yes. And Kiki's like, we need to talk. Like, hello. Yeah. See, when Morgan sees a threat, he tries to push. You know, to be fair, he did this right in the beginning. Like, when he thought he was going to lose Kiki to Michael with her not being a quarter main, he pushed her into a marriage. So, this is just par for the course for Morgan. So Kiki wants to discuss this in private, obviously, and Dylan can see that something's up, like something's not totally right. So Dylan sees Road, and Lucy's like, don't worry about it. I don't think Kiki knew they were moving in together anyway. And Dylan's like, what? And then he's like, you know what? I need some time with this. And poor Lucy, like, she's trying to get her career off the, I don't know, she's off the ground. I couldn't think of the word ground, really. I'm disappointed in myself. So Valerie comes up to Dylan, they talk a little bit. Scott comes up to Lucy, and it turns out even a third client now has stood her up. Oh, how much do you want to bet Valentine was the third client? I just thought of that right now. How much do you want to bet? I'll bet like 1 Misha. I'm just kidding. I'm not betting Misha. But seriously, I think Valentine was supposed to be your next client. So he says that he got Franco released from the PCPD, and I'm like, haha, actually Elizabeth did. And maybe Franco, well, no, maybe Scott probably didn't have that information going into it, but like Franco needs to find out that Elizabeth is like the person responsible for him getting out. So he offers to take Lucy for martinis. She agrees. So Dylan and Valerie talk about their relationships, and Darby texts him, we need to talk ASAP, and he's like, oh great. At Sunny's, Morgan and Kiki fight. They do. And he thinks because he did this out of love that she should appreciate and accept it. And I was like, that just, you know. And she sets him straight as much as she can. He's not getting it though. And that, you know, this should have been something they did together. Like, you don't just go out and do this. And that he doesn't consider her opinion. And he thinks that she thinks he's off his meds, which is like his, that line he keeps going to. And she says it's not true, and like, look how you're acting. I think you're having a manic episode, because he does start to escalate more and more and more. So usually I can tell the last segment because it's like 51 to the end or 55 to the end, this, that, and the other thing. But since I lost the first 8 minutes, I didn't catch that. So there's no end scene thing. That was all the end scene. It worked out in an order that kind of made sense. So yeah, that's it. That's all for today's General Hospital recap. I haven't totally decided yet what we're going to vote on this week, because I'm still getting a feel for the week. So tomorrow I'll announce officially what we're voting for. So if you think of anything, put it in the comments, because I seriously I need a lot to consider, you know. And surprise, tomorrow, is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Oh, it is Wednesday. That's what I thought. It's the 3rd already. Ugh, this month is going by. So I will be on time tomorrow. I know. Woo. And on time Friday. I have the next 2 days off. So yay. And okay, so that is officially it for the recap. So I mentioned I had a bad dream last night that had to do with the kittens. And basically, yesterday, I don't know if anyone, a lot of people know this, some don't, but my dog passed away at the end of May. And just yesterday, her favorite song came on the radio, which is I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. So I just got really emotional and kind of broke down. So then my dream last night, I lost the kittens, and it was just like the worst dream I've ever had, because I woke up and I like immediately got up and like sought them all out and hugged them and was like, oh my goodness, thank God it was a dream. Because like, you know, there's those dreams you have where like you just, oh my goodness, like it was horrible. But everyone's okay, everyone's good, and I'm staying away from that song because it does bad things to me right now. But sorry, I didn't mean to end it sad. I had mentioned it before. I didn't want to leave you hanging, because then if people asked, it would make, you know, everyone even more sad to write it. So there you go. You got it. And I will see you tomorrow on time for more Drama Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.